Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for December 22nd to the 29th, 2023. I'm coming up on the end of the year here pretty quick, as well as the Christmas season for all you who are celebrating it. I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Let's get into the reading, shall we? I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. Pulling our energy into alignment. Wherever you are across time and space, I invite you and your spirit to join us in this reading. On that third breath, imagining a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth, grounding here and now. This ground also providing a sacred conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children now and in the future to do this reading of the week for December 22nd to the 29th, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, both personally and collectively. My intention is to use language that we will easily hear, understand, and integrate for our personal well-being and the well-being of everyone who is listening to this reading now and in the future. I call upon my higher self, the higher selves of all of those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be here and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and the best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind for this week of December 22nd to the 29th, 2023. At this time, I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container across time and space. If you are part of this reading, you are part of this circle of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. We set the tone for ease, for clarity, for wisdom, for healing, for transformation, for peace, for upliftment, for joy. For whatever it is that is uppermost in our hearts and mind at this time, may it be held in this circle of light and answered for our highest and greatest good, so that we may be clear channels for light ourselves. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies of love and light is welcome to go now. And onward we go. So, Creator, what is it that we most need to know at this time for our personal and collective highest and greatest good for this, the week of December 22nd to the 29th, 2023, over the week of Christmas and all the other celebrations of this time of year? We have the solstice this week. Not this week of the reading, but the week that I'm in right now. I'm recording this on Wednesday the 20th, for those who are wondering. Okay, my friends, let's begin. What is it that we most need to know, Creator, for our highest and greatest good? Okay, starting with our friend the Fool. We haven't seen him in a while. So the Fool, it's tapping into that beautiful energy of the beginning of the journey, the enthusiasm, the excitement, the opportunity that a new venture, a new beginning brings to us. The 0 card, key 0, and the Fool is the very first card of the major arcana. Always remembering that the arcana is not linear, it is circular, it goes around in a spiral. And so this is the first of the cards that represent that spiral of energy and expansion. It's sitting in the recent past position, which means that it's relevant in our present and in our future going forward. And what I'm getting from this is this tapping into that eager enthusiasm, tapping into that willingness to have new beginnings, to have new energy, new excitement and inspiration. So just remembering this, as we're coming into Christmas or the Christmas season. If you're not celebrating Christmas, I apologize. I don't mean to offend anyone. But this lovely energy of the end of the year, of the darkest time of the year, and then the reemergence into the light as the light begins to build again, is a time of renewal. It's a time of growth. It's the time of the seed in the soil before as it begins to germinate, but before it breaks through the soil. That's kind of the quality of this energy. So what are we planting that we're eager about? What seeds are we planting in the soil of our lives that will come up and fresh and new in the light of spring, in the new year, in that momentum of new beginnings? Because it is a tremendous field of momentum that we can harness if we're intentional about it. That's why we traditionally have New Year's resolutions, is to get clear about what we want. And that in and of itself is very powerful. But I would encourage everyone who's listening to focus on how they want to feel, what is inspiring, what is exciting, what is building of life in us. Because creating resolutions that are not in alignment with our yes is not going to take us very far, very fast, as we all know, because we've all done it. But when we line up our intentions, attentions, and will with our yes, with those things that are calling us to more life, then we have serious momentum building. So, interest, curiosity, enthusiasm, eagerness, those are all quality words that relate to the energy of the Fool that we're being asked to remember and pull into our present and our future. Okay, present card. There she is again. She was the one upside down card as I was shuffling earlier. The Princess of Swords. This is new beginnings on the level of the mind and action. So, like babies that grow up, there's this quality of fresh starts, fresh beginnings. So it can be a baby, it can be a new venture, it can be anything with that kind of new quality to it. So it's interesting that we have that fresh, eager enthusiasm, beginning of the journey energy here. And here again, we have this beginning energy, this quality of fresh beginnings, of starts, of inspiration. And we have this lovely lacy butterfly flying around here and these golden orbs. So it's like this inspired inspiration. Same word, I guess. But this inspired new messages of new beginning that trigger a whole new life, a whole new way of being, a whole new way of taking action and being in our lives, new ways of thinking about things, new ways of looking at things, new ways of being. And as I said, that quality of taking action. And of course, butterflies represent that metamorphosis, that change, that transformation. And, we've talked about that here is this energy of change that we're all living through right now. And so this quality in our energy for this present time, for this week, is this energy of new beginnings, is this energy of fresh starts. So just staying curious and open. This is the Fool reminds us to stay curious, to stay wondering, to stay open to what is around us. And this card is encouraging the same thing, because as a result of our openness and our eagerness, we have this lovely new beginning that's taking us in new directions. They may not be radically new, but they are inspired. They are congruent with us. They help us to move in directions that are for our good because we're moving towards our yes. It's that quality of energy that I'm wanting to convey here. The near future, we have the Ruin card, the 10 of Swords. So what I want to focus on in this card is we have this woman who's leaning over a child. We don't know what's going on with the child. She has her hand on their chest. It's a kind of a worrisome image. But what we also notice with this card is all these incoming swords are not distracting her from her purpose. In fact, she's receiving this bolt of energy, or this life force energy, coming down into her heart chakra, and she is completely able to be 100% focused on what is before her. So this is not ruin, everything is going to go to hell in a handbasket. What it does mean is that there's going to be distraction. And where are you focused? Where are we focused? How are we staying in our heart and being led by what we're being guided to through our hearts? Not letting ourselves get knocked off kilter, off course, but staying true and authentic and lined up. That's what we're called to do. This is this near future that we're moving into. And yes, there is some dark, it is a nighttime scene. We have night skies and stars and stormy clouds and these dark shapes at the bottom. But it doesn't matter how dark it gets. Our job is to be centered in our hearts, inside out, lined up with our yes, lined up with our truth, and in service, as we see very clearly from this individual who's taking care of the young one. So that's the energy of what we're moving towards. It's this staying, it's staying on target. It's not allowing ourselves to become distracted, as I said. And distractions, I mean, we're human. We are going to get distracted, but we just need to keep coming back to what we're here for, to keep coming back to what we're on path and purpose for. Our purpose is to discover ourselves, to discover our gifts and our abilities, our talents, and to bring those to life, following our yes in service to more life. And if you're new to the channel, have never heard me talk about the yes before, the yes is the collection of very inspiring, shiny things that bring you to greater enthusiasm, greater life. When you think or consider or engage with these aspects, you are full of life. It generates new enthusiasm in you, new life in you. And as a result, things flow more easily because you're in that flow state of, as I said, what I call the yes. The yes is where everything that you want is. It's where the people that you want to connect with are. It's where the opportunities are. It's where the relationships and the connections and the further inspiration is to be found. Another way to think about it is the yes is life calling you to more life. So it's really important to stay present to this and to let yourself be guided by that, regardless of the distraction in the outer world. And there will be more, because that's just the nature of how things are going. But how disciplined are we being? How on purpose are we being? How lined up are we being? And that's what this card is reminding us. We have things to do. We have things that need our attention. As I said, the young one here who needs her attention completely. We need to stay heart-centered. We need to stay focused. We need to stay lined up regardless of the darkness that may arise and try to keep us from our own light, from staying lined up with our light, and from staying lined up with our path and purpose. Collectively, for humanity, this is the path forward. This is what we have to do. We have to keep moving regardless of the distractions. We cannot stop our path and our journey. We have to keep going. And I know there's a lot on the planet that's distracting and heart-rending and difficult. And we're here on purpose. We're here to be beacons of light and love. And if we are upset and small and wringing our hands over something that we cannot change, then our energy is diverted from our service and our purpose. So just bearing that in mind as we go forward in the next little while, to just stay in the heart. And when you notice you're getting distracted or you're sidelined or you're upset or whatever it is that comes towards you, just notice. Not to make yourself wrong, but simply to understand that we are human beings. We are in human form, having a human experience with all the human emotions, and we are connected. And so the suffering of others is our suffering. And we need to keep moving. We need to keep building light. And we do that through following our path and purpose, our joy, our enthusiasm, our light. Okay, foundation. The legacy card, or protection as it's called. So the 10 of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth element, it's home, it's family, it's legacy. It's that which came before. It's our intergenerational connection to what came before us and what will come after us. What is it that we are leaving for future generations? This is the foundation card of the reading this week. Very much about this energy of appreciation for what came before. I think of the ancestors when I see this card, because of course we wouldn't be here if we didn't have ancestors. And whether they were conscious and intentional about it or not, we're here because of them. We have the life experiences that we've had as a result of that family lineage. We're also living in a very interesting time because there's an opportunity like there's never been to heal and transform and release those old limiting patterns or those old belief systems or those old, patterns from our family history, our family tree. Whatever that may be, whether that's a form of addiction, whether it's a form of abuse, whatever that is, it can stop with this generation. And I know many, many, many of you have been doing really good work in service to clearing up that field of humanity so that the light can build from this point on. It's no longer about repeating old thoughtless patterns. It's like, okay, enough of that. Let's do it differently. Let's do it better. Let's do it with the good of the next 7 generations at heart, so that we can create something magnificent going forward. So this is the foundation card this week. It's why we're having the reading. It's this energy of legacy. It's this energy of where are we going to? What are we bringing to life? What are we contributing? How are we making the world a better place? And it's important to consider. I know there's a lot going on the planet, and a lot of young people are feeling it's not a good time to have children. And, I can't make up that decision for anybody other than myself. I'm a little beyond having kids at this point. But humanity is rising. It is going to be different. And we can ensure it is different by embracing our purpose, our path, our enthusiasm, our highest enthusiasm, our highest life force, our highest vitality. And take care of ourselves so that we can hold as much of that energy as we can, because that adds to the collective human field and helps with the transformative process, so that our future generations can be free to be all that they're here to be, so that our young ones can have children happily without fear and concern for their young ones' future. We all want that for future generations. We want a beautiful world where those young ones can grow up eager, full of anticipation for the adventure of being embodied in life and having this incredible, exquisite experience of being human. So this is our reading of the week. It's interesting. Stay connected to the enthusiasm. Stay connected, eager enthusiasm. Looking for how the universe is going to surprise and delight us. Because if that's the lens that we look at life through, that's what we're going to see. If we look at life through doom and gloom lenses, that's what we're going to see. It's really a discipline for us to adopt and to embrace, so that we can be powerful co-creators with the life force. And with that, let's pull the card to grow on. New ideas, new actions to be taken in our present. New inspiration, which is a wonderful thing. And I really believe that's what we're living through right now. We have incredible solar flares. There's all kinds of dynamic energy happening on the planet. There's a release of the old, of the stuck of what was, and there's a refreshment and an opening to new possibilities, new distinctions. And once again, it all depends on us and our lens and where we're focusing and what we're looking at, that right vision we talked about last reading. We really need to stay lofty. We really need to stay in that broader, wiser place. And we can, when we intend it and when we set that up for ourselves, we can be successful in that. And we are. Humanity is transforming. There are wonderful initiatives that are coming forward right now. And yeah, there's lots of weird stuff that's going on, but that's just the old unraveling. So when you see those things that maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable, just remember that it's not forever. It's just a process that needs to occur. But we need to keep the light happening and the enthusiasm happening and the vitality happening, and we need to bring it through us. We are the channels for light that we've been looking for. Our card to grow on for this week, what is it that we most need to know, Creator, for our highest and greatest good? And the Hanged Man. So there we are, pulling ourselves to a new perspective. We are the ones responsible for how we're looking at life. We get to choose. How are we doing it? Are we looking at it the way we've always looked at it? Are we open to a new perspective? And if we're open to a new perspective, is it one that serves the highest and greatest good? Or is it one that shuts us down and fills us with self-doubt and recrimination and separation and division and cynicism? We get to choose. And so I encourage each and every one of you who is listening to choose light, to choose beauty, to choose perspectives that affirm life, that affirm us with gratitude and appreciation for life and the beauty that it offers us every day. So it's kind of exciting, the Hanged Man, this powerful reminder that we are here co-creating with life. We're not passive participants. We actually have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and do something different if we want the world to be different. It's up to you and me. And I'm not talking about anything radical, like assassinating a world leader or doing anything crazy. I'm talking about being a clearing for love and light in your life, lining up with your yes, living into that yes as much as possible, and being that clearing of enthusiasm, of joy, of love, of light, of affirmation, seeing the good in others, setting the intention to evoke it from them so that everywhere we go, we're calling more light through those around us, as well as through ourselves. That's how we're going to do this. That's how it's going to happen. Because each of us is capable of bringing through wonderful solutions. But it starts by getting into that high frequency place. And that's where our tools come in. The Qigong, the Tai Chi, the meditation, the yoga, eating clean, taking care of ourselves, getting enough air, the meditation, exercise, hydration, diet, sleep, that MEDS acronym that I keep talking about. Just remembering that because it's so powerful for keeping us in a healthy, happy, balanced state so that we can more easily and more readily be that clearing for love and light as we move through the world, calling it out from each other and building the field of light magnificently with each person that we connect with. And so with that, my friends, we have the reading for this week. I'm grateful for you being here, for being a clearing for more love and light in yourself, and in your community, in your family, in the network that you live in. Each of us doing this is tremendously powerful. Follow your heart. It knows what you need to do. And we follow the heart by deep breaths. Take one now. Come on, right back to that beautiful body. Because the body is the compass. The body knows yes and no for us. It knows where we need to be. It knows our highest enthusiasm. We know our truth when we come home here. When we get into our mind and we get wandering around in the clouds and we're no longer connected to this beautiful body, that's where we get confused and knocked off our center and beat up a little bit and thinking something's a really good idea when it really isn't for us. We have to be here in the body. So I encourage you over these dark winter times to just take some time to connect with nature, to connect with yourself, do candle gazing, whatever it is that you need to do to just ground and be more present through the breath, being home with yourself. And once again, setting that intention to be a clearing for more love and light, to see and affirm and evoke the highest and best in yourself and in everyone that we meet. It's powerful because we're affirming us and building the energy here, and then that energy flows out into the world and draws it forth from others because we're calling it in. We have to remember that we're the ones calling it all in. Okay, deep breath again. Let's close the reading. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to once again do the reading of the week. For this, the 22nd of December to the 29th of 2023. I'd like to set an intention for more love and light and peace and joy on the planet through this holiday season for those who are celebrating it, through this darkest time of the year. May we come home to our hearts, to our wisdom, to our discernment, so that we can rise and be beautiful clearings for more light, more love, more ease, more flow, more well-being on the planet. I am so grateful to all of those who've come to help us, who are holding space for us, who are waiting, standing by, ready to be asked, ready to support us in doing more good, and being more intentional and present and full of love and light, enthusiasm and eagerness. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today, all those guardians and guides who hold us so magnificently, all the grandmothers and grandfathers who came before and made it possible for us to be here at this time. And I also pray for future generations. I know you're there waiting for your turn. And we are building more love and light here to make it possible for you to have an even greater experience than we're having right now. We love the future. We love those who are incarnating after us. And we love those who came before us. We hold the circle of love and light for all of us, all life here on earth and beyond. I wish you a beautiful, magical holiday, Christmas, winter season, whatever it is that your heart is calling you to this season. I hope you honor it and enjoy it thoroughly. And I look forward to all the good that we are pulling through. Thank you for being part of this circle. I look forward to seeing you next week for the last reading of the year into the new year. Much love and light. Take good care. Bye for now.